Alright, what we got here is a BST tournament, bit of a misnomer as it's not actually a base stat total cap tournament, but rather it's everything, so Viper and under was allowed by default, and then we made some edits, a couple things that were above Viper's BST that were still not that good got in, a couple things that were below it that were still too good got kicked out, and then we also banned things like Eviolite and Shell Smash that would kind of make stuff silly. Anyway, so first round, we're doing group play like the World Cup, and we are playing Callum, also known as HoodlumScrafty. His link will be in the description. And he has Pidgeot, Carnivine, Monferno, Haunter, Mawile, and Wartortle. And I'm bringing Golduck, Mawile of my own, Lopunny, Wormadam Trash, the Bug Steel one, Maractus, and Dugong. Dugong is going to be bringing a set that I've wanted to use for a really long time, and finally got to get to have some use out of it in this game. So I decided to lead with Wormadam Trash, try to get that Stealth Rock up, but unfortunately he leads out with Monferno, which is, I think, definitely the correct lead, given that there's only one thing on the team that actually is not weak to fire or fighting. So this Monferno is a huge problem. Natsu is over here, and could just be doing a lead ape set. I'm gonna assume that's Fairy Tail, although I suppose it could be also just Summer in general. But I'm not gonna stay in here. I don't want to lose this guy too early for most likely nothing. So we're gonna go into the one thing that doesn't have a weakness to one of its moves, which is gonna be Gemini Man. So he shows Fake Out, and so I don't know what the move pool differences are between Monferno and Infernape, as far as like Stealth Rock and Swords Dance and whatnot goes. So I don't know how much of a lead ape it could be. But anyway, I do know that Golduck outspeeds it. He's most likely not going to be scarfed onto Fake Out, and if he is, he's going to leave anyway. And so this is a Hone Claws physical Golduck. So we're just going to go Aqua Tail. Usually you run Waterfall, but it's Hone Claws, so I guess we'll take the extra 10 base power, and you don't see Aqua Tail much anyway. I kind of wanted to not use Aqua Tail since it was, kind of obvious. And on top of that, we're Life Orb, so we're going to be taking some unnecessary damage. That does a decent amount to Wartortle, though, in my opinion. I'm not sure what he wants to stay in here and do after seeing the physical move, potentially go for Skull, fish for some burns. But we're just going to go right back out and into a water type of my own, which is going to be Splash Woman. Yep, manatees, dugongs, mermaids, all that stuff. And we get a double switch here, actually, and he sends in Mawile to pick up the Intimidate. So this could get pretty dangerous. My Mawile is really offensive, but his has Intimidate, so I'm not quite sure what it's going to do. But we're just going to go ahead and execute the strategy anyway, which is going to be, first turn we're going to Whirlpool. That's why it's got to come from 4th gen, of course. That's why the name is kind of, sort of smushed in there. He does set up a Stealth Rock, but now I've got stuff underway. And now we're going to, you might be able to guess what's coming next. Yep, Splash Woman's going to sing a song. And gonna summon a big fish here in a couple turns, I guess, to just nom 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 whatever is on the field. That's how I'm gonna pretend that plays out. But anyway, so he play roughs, and because we're faster, this gives me the chance to use Disable. And sure enough, he does continue to go for play rough, so we get that attack negated, and then we're just gonna negate the next attack with a Protect. Of this set, I like to run it with Lapras. Lapras has better bulk, but I think Dugong does have some more speed. If you don't outspeed your target, then you have to go double Protect instead of Disable. But ideally you're doing this against the wall, delayed emote strip there, so you're going to be able to be faster than it and get that nice disable going on. So we're going to Protect here, which kind of sucks that I show him all 4 moves, but at the same time, the set pretty much worked to perfection. And yeah, this Mawile is going to go down on this next turn no matter what. And it's just a question of course, I want to preserve this Dugong for later, so we're going to switch in something else. And I think we're going to go into Golduck because it's the one thing that likely will not have Monferno keen to come in. So we take a Pain Split, which I'm not even sure if I knew Mawile could learn. But take it pretty alright, lose like, 5 HP, maybe a little more than that. But he could send in Wartortle again, as he did bring it into Golduck earlier, albeit just as a pivot. But likely we're going to see something new here, and it's going to be a Pidgeot, which does have base 101 speed now. It did get a speed raise in the generation shift, so you don't see Pidgeot every day. That's easy to forget. But yeah, if it's got not Overheat, if it's got Heat Wave, it's likely not going to go for it against Golduck. And if it does have Heat Wave, then Wormadam can scout for it with Anticipation. So we're going to get some use out of that ability right here. And like I said, it's not going to go for it against Golduck, and then I'll be able to tell. And if it doesn't have Heat Wave, then Wormadam should be pretty much alright against it. So in comes Junkman. Doesn't have heat wave, as we can see from no anticipation, and U-turns out. So, you know, that doesn't really tell me much of anything. I guess probably tells me it's not a defensive set. If nothing else, it's likely not going to pack roost. So I suppose it could. But it's, you know, could still be physical or special, but based on not having heat wave, I'm going to assume it's not special. And you know, so that was some nice information to gain. Unfortunately, this is probably the most obvious U-turn drop-in in the world, and he's just going to drop in Monferno again and do massive threats to pretty much everything. So, you know, it has shown Fake Out, which I believe has been the only move it's done. It's done Fake Out and it switched. So, we could go to someone to take the Fake Out, but I think I'm just going to decide, you know, he's most likely going to go for Fake Out here. Let's just stay in with our max plus nature steel type and take Fake Out and probably gain HP from it, honestly, and then decide what else to do here. I'm running some calcs this turn, that's why I'm taking so long to make my decision. Mostly, I think, for next turn. And sure enough, we take 5 HP and then gain back 10, so that's nice. And right here, this is a really risky turn. At this point, I decide I'm probably going to have to sacrifice something else. I can't really just, you know, switch Golduck in over and over again, so I'm likely going to have to switch or get some kind of Death Fodder going on here. And I decide, well, he's only got one thing weak to Stealth Rock, so maybe I'll just chance it and just stay in and try to go for Stealth Rock in case something silly happens. And, you know, kind of throw Wormadam under the bus, poor Junkman. So that's what I'm going to decide to do. And I want to take you guys back to the past for a little bit here. And remember something that happened in my last 4th Gen Standard with a Chimchar evolution and a Bug Steel. So that was a thing that happened. And here's this thing that's going to happen. And Junkman avoids Overheat. So big, so clutch. Gets Stealth Rock up. And I see Overheat, so because of that, it's going to make me think it's going to be mixed. Of course, you don't want, you know, the special attack drop to hinder you completely. You know, it's still going to be a big threat, though. That's nice that I dodged that. Back up to almost full HP. We have rocks up now. He could still spin them away with Wartortle, so, you know, it's not a major victory. But, you know, we get to keep this thing alive, and, you know, I'm not going to assume Lightning's going to strike twice, so we're going to switch out now and be thankful to Junkman for dodging that. Going to switch into a Thick Fat guy. This thing does have Thick Fat instead of the Hydration Rest thing that's you can also run on that set. And he nasty plots, which surprises me since, you know, I would assume it's going to be it's 3 moves I've seen, so he's probably going to have a special fighting move, likely Vacuum Wave for priority. And yep, there's Vacuum Wave, and he gets a crit, and I think that crit actually did matter. Even with Modest, it doesn't have a shot to one-shot unless it's a crit, and I think even then it might not one-shot. But anyway, I don't think that mattered too much in the long run. I was just going to go for Perish Song there. Likely would have went for a double Protect on the ensuing turns as he stall turns of that. And here's Gemini Man, able to live that +2 not Lock Punch Vacuum Wave, and unfortunately he does have Sash, so which I guess makes sense since it was a lead. But we do take him down to Sash, and I could try to save this guy, but no, I think we're just going to go ahead and use the Death Fodder now, as it were. And send in, I think, the last thing we have with priority, which is going to be Wormadam. And this is a very interesting case of risk versus reward. It's a quick decision for me, and it's a quick feint. But definitely, you know, there's a lot of risk that goes on right there. If he Mach Punches, he's probably going to 2-hit KO. And, you know, if I Gyro Ball, in that case, I'll KO him, but he will get some damage on me. I don't know if he was expecting Sucker Punch. He did see Anticipation, so there's that. Which I'll explain why that's relevant later. But brain freeze. Anyway, yeah, so it worked out alright. If he had Mach Punch there, he probably would have 2-hit KO'd. And, of course, that would make Sucker Punch useless. But if he had Mach Punch, you know, or Mach Punch, Vacuum Waved, it would have done some damage, but he just, you know, he went for the big kill in case I did go for Gyro Ball. And, you know, I guess, you know, you can't really blame one way or the other. But certainly one way would have been, I guess, getting something guaranteed versus getting, you know, it was risk versus reward, that type of thing. It was an interesting little you know, rock, paper, scissors throw, and I happened to come out on top of it. And I'm very glad for that. So, right here, I'm aware that he doesn't have Heat Wave because of Anticipation earlier. And so he's just going to U-turn out, and I think we're just going. I thought about throwing a Toxic out there, but he does have Haunter, so I decided to go Gyro Ball instead. And Wartortle comes in, so that was the incorrect move to make there, but oh well. Certainly not going to complain. You know, Wormadam's already had a clutch dodge, and it's gotten the better of a rock, paper, scissors throw. So, cool. Just going to land the Toxic on there. And this is another interesting scenario that crops up from time to time with Rapid Spin user versus Stealth Rock user. I happen to be slower, of course, since I'm a Gyro Baller, and thus I can set up Stealth Rock after he spins. So here comes the Scald, which thankfully does not burn. Doesn't hurt too much either, so it's probably just max really, really bulky. And now, however, I'm gaining HP. He doesn't have leftovers, so I don't know if he has Assault Vest or what, but you know, he's losing HP, I'm gaining HP, so I can just do this, you know, set up Stealth Rock after he spins until either A, he dies from Toxic, or B, after this turn, you know, he's going to be in the red and he's going to be in Sucker Punch range. So I don't know if that's above a Stealth Rock switch in or not, but he's kind of in a really bad place. He kind of has to, you know, if he goes for a status category move, he's probably going to die to Poison, and Rapid Spin and Scald are both attacks, so he's kind of put in a very bad bind, and I'm able to get out of that with getting the kill, getting, you know, most of Junkman's HP back, and I keep rocks up on the field, so that was just a great turn of events for me right there, and you know, well done by Wormadam. But anyway, so in comes Carnivine, and I certainly have never faced the Carnivine before, so I'm not sure what it can do. I briefly check out and make sure it doesn't have any fire moves, maybe like Fire Fang. It does have teeth after all, toothpaste. But it looks like it does not, so HP Fire is going to be about the most dangerous thing, and I think I run a calc which might have been an error and said I would survive. But anyway, so we're just going to stay in and go for Toxic. He has seen Anticipation, so that means I don't have Overcoat to block any potential powder moves he wants to go for. But, you know, getting a Toxic on this thing I guess will be alright. It's not very fast, so Gyro Ball is not going to do much, and I don't want to Sucker Punch if he's got a status category move. So anyway, there's Sleep Powder, which, you know, would have been nice to have Overcoat for, but with Overcoat it has to be from 5th gen, and Sucker Punch is a 4th gen exclusive tutor move. So by having Sucker Punch, of course I revealed, even though I think I showed it earlier anyway, revealed that I did not have Overcoat. So because of that, he was of course free to go for Sleep Powder there. So Wormadam's asleep. Burns one turn of sleep there, as it was faster on sleep. And, yep, this thing is going to Swords Dance. I looked at its set and was like, it's probably what it's going to do. It's got base 100 attack, base 90 special attack, so it could potentially be either. But it comes Una the Lopunny, and this thing is just full-on Baton Pass. It's got Baton Pass and then 3 things it can pass. It's got Cosmic Power, which is a brand new move to Lopunny this generation, I believe, Agility, and Power-Up Punch. So we're going to go for Agility this time, as our recipient, with Golduck already being dead, is going to be Mawile. So Mawile would definitely appreciate the extra speed, and I'm going to hope we can live kind of whatever it is, and potentially get our Key Berry is actually what this thing's held item is. It's the new berry that increases your defense if you take a physical hit. So he knocks off and gets rid of the Key Berry, and at first I was kind of sad that, the Key Berry didn't get to activate before it got knocked off, and then I realized, you know, if he had used Seed Bomb, that's got Stab, and that probably would have just killed me, so... anyway, so we're going to Baton Pass the +2 speed to Dr. Wily, and ouch, that hurt! That's resisted, and it still did about a half. Ow. So we're going to pull a Swords Dance and hope we can live the ensuing Seed Bomb, which, holy crap, that hurt too. 2 resisted hits, and it's still almost 2-hit KO'd. But thank goodness that Wily hangs on with 1 HP. Another clutch live going on right here. And we've got Play Rough and Iron Head to work with Sheer Force, Life Orb. Life Orb is now gone, but with Sheer Force, it looks like it's either one's still going to be enough. I'm just running some calcs to make sure that even if he's got max HP, that even Iron Head will do it because it's got the perfect accuracy. You know, we don't want Play Miss to rear its ugly head. So, indeed, that is what happens. And I think at this point, I'm pretty much good to sweep, as we got Sucker Punch for this Pidgeot, and we should be faster than it due to... running enough speed, I'm pretty sure, but he quick attacks and kills me. So I don't know if it registers right now, but it must be Scarf Pidgeot. I think so anyway. He's gonna actually switch instead of U-turn on this next turn, so it's gonna I'm gonna assume then that it is a Scarfed quick attack Pidgeot, which, you know, is a nice failsafe, so good going on there. And Junkman's been in for 1 turn of sleep. Really right here, you know, I know I'm going to be able to force a switch here, as it can't do too much, and just going to hope for a quick wake against this nice shiny Haunter, and oh my goodness, Junkman gets a 1-turn wake, and one-shots the Haunter with Gyro Ball. What an amazing performance, and the first time I've ever used Wormadam Trash. So clutch. And that's just going to leave it with Pidgeot left, and that's not going to have anything to one-shot, and it's just going to go down to Gyro Ball. So this was just Wormadam's game. It dodged Overheat, got the Sucker Punch, coin flip chance to work with a rock, paper, scissors throw, and then with the one-turn wake there at the end, too. So this was just Wormadam's game. I don't really want to do an MVP just because it's I feel like it's such a standard set for one thing. But yeah, we'll maybe do MVP at the end of the tournament series. I don't like to do them for individual games. But anyway, good game, Callum. Certainly go check out his channel if you feel so inclined. As for the rest of the group pool play, Fizzy Stardust was in the group, but had to withdraw for medical reasons. So we certainly hope he gets to feeling better in regard to that. And so that just leaves Magnitude as the last person we're going to have to battle for this. If we win, then we're going to advance out of group play and go into the final single elimination. Otherwise, it's going to come down to tie breaks. We do have a 3-0, which is a decent record in this game, so we'll see how it turns out. So stay tuned for that one. See you guys then. Later days.